What if I told you that the Atlanta Falcons just sent a strong message to the rest of the NFL and barely no one noticed? The Falcons just had their first full scrimmage of training camp, and while the cameras were limited and the clips were scarce, what happened behind closed doors might be the most exciting sign yet that this team is cooking something special in 2025. From Michael Penix throwing those dimes to defensive lockdowns and even some rookie fireworks, there is a lot to talk about. Let's break it all down right now. All right, first things first. If you're wondering why there wasn't a ton of video footage from scrimmage, that was by design. The Falcons essentially shut down all media filming after the opening reps, and essentially they want to keep their schemes under wraps. And honestly, I respect that. But that didn't stop the reporters and fans from dropping golden nuggets on what went down during the scrimmage. So let's talk about it all. Now let's get right into the star of the scrimmage, QB1 Michael Penix Jr. That guy was flat out balling. Tori McElhaney tweeted, "First series for the team has the offense moving downfield. Penix connects with Washington twice, once down the left sideline for 25 plus, and then drops an absolute dime to McLeod down the right sideline 2 steps outside the end zone. Can't stress enough how impressive a throw that pass to McLeod was." I will say this. I saw this throw. I don't know how I saw it, but I saw a video. I don't think it's supposed to be released of the throw. And I will say this. That isn't just a regular strong throw. That is an NFL level throw that was completed. So shout out to Michael Penix. Oh yeah, and I saw it because the Falcons tweeted it. Okay. I will say this. Michael Penix also dropped a gorgeous touchdown pass to Drake London, placing it right over A.J. Terrell in the corner near the end zone. And we're talking about a guy who has confidence, poise, and elite deep ball touch. Penix threw the ball 28 times, far more than any other quarterback. Cousins, I think he just had 9 passes, but that should tell you all you need to know. The Falcons are trying to get Michael Penix Jr. majority of the reps, and he so far is making them all count. Now let's talk about a name you need to remember, Casey Washington. This receiver made a big impression running with the first team. Myles Garrett tweeted, "One takeaway so far, Penix is finding Casey Washington early and often. He's getting open. Penix is getting it to him." Casey Washington is separating himself because he's showing he can separate. He's reliable, and he's already built a connection with Michael Penix. And with Darnell Mooney still sidelined and the reps up for grab, Washington is making a serious push. If this continues into preseason games, don't be shocked if he earns a roster spot. The wide receiver room is crowded, but Casey is making noise. And it's the kind of noise coaches can't ignore. Now, I will also say this. Our red zone defense is nasty. While the offense was clicking in the open field, the defense stood tall when it mattered the most, the red zone. Multiple reports mentioned how the Falcons defense consistently shut things down once the offense crossed that 20-yard line mark or the red zone. Arkish Ray tweeted, "Offense once again falters in the red zone. Defense has been great there." I will say this. This is huge. Red zone defense is probably some of the hardest because you have to have a level of communication and physicality. And this Falcons defense is showing that they have that. They're flying around, they're creating pressure, enforcing field goals instead of touchdowns. If this becomes a trend, opposing offenses are going to have a rough time in 2025. Let me tell you, and let me mark my words right now. If the Falcons defense are continue to play the red zone defense like they did in scrimmage, this will be a great season. Now, let's talk about all the rookies that were showing out, because majority of them did show out. Chris Albers tweeted, "Jalon Walker with a sack today. He looks incredibly explosive off the edge." And that's just one example. James Pearce Jr. was an absolute force all day. He disrupted plays, pushed the pocket, and lived in the backfield. Billy Bowman Jr. got reps with the starters and held his own. Xavier Watts showed off his range and instincts even in that sort of limited role. The 2025 draft class might end up being special. They're not just participating, they're competing. And it's clear Raheem Morris and the coaching staff are giving them every opportunity to prove themselves. Now, let's keep it real. Not everyone had a great day. There were some players that just didn't come out and just didn't perform like they wanted to. I wouldn't say Kirk Cousins struggled, but he didn't have that sharp day that he normally does. His first pass, Myles Garrett tweeted, "Kirk Cousins' first pass in scrimmage is a pick six to Leonard Floyd." Ouch. He also took multiple sacks and looked out of sync when the pressure came. When the pads came on, Kirk Cousins didn't really have much rhythm today. I don't know if it was because he was playing with the twos or he didn't play much because majority of those snaps went to Michael Penix. I think Michael Penix had 28 passes. Kirk Cousins had 9 passes, but it is what it is. It's also worth noting that this just happened in this scrimmage. Kirk Cousins has been playing pretty well in training camp, but still that contrast between Kirk Cousins and Penix was notable today. Next kind of theme that was noticed today, Younghoe Koo was locked in. We have to show some love to the special teams because that's where a lot of games are won. And Josh Kendall tweeted, "If there was a PK or basically kicking competition, it's over now." Younghoe Koo was 6 of 7 on field goals, with his only miss being from 60 plus. Lenny Craig didn't get any kicks today. Koo is back in his bag. He's been automatic over the last few training camp practices, and it's clear the kicking job is his. He's been reliable for years, despite that last little blurb last season. And right now, he looks sharper than ever. So here's your big takeaways. Number 1, Michael Penix Jr. looked fantastic, showing serious QB1 potential. 2, Casey Washington is quietly becoming one of the camp's biggest surprises. 3, this defense is stingy in the red zone, and that's a great sign. 4, the 2025 rookie class looks legit. They're hungry, talented, and ready. 5, Kirk Cousins had not a great day, but the season is long. And 6, Younghoe Koo is as clutch as ever. This Falcons team is ahead of schedule, in my opinion, and if the veterans stay consistent and the rookies keep rising, 2025 might be even better than what we thought. Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. Who impressed you the most from what you're hearing, and who would you like to see get going in the preseason games? Leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And if you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.